Hello there, and welcome to episode 3 of my quick tutorial series for Mind Over Magic. In this episode, we are going to go and explore the basics of rooms and of school expansion. While we have built a little bit of something in the previous episodes, we want today a new floor in here and a couple of specialized rooms, and I'm going to introduce the room system in its basics in this video. It's of course only the beginning. We're going to deepen these topics in the upcoming episodes, but we gotta start somewhere, right? And speaking about that, in the description box down there below, you find a playlist link which leads you to the entirety of this quick tutorial series where I explain all those topics in 10 to 15 minutes, if I'm able to. Now, let's talk about expanding. First up, I want to have another floor in the school here because we need more rooms. This is just not enough. So first up, what I want to do is I want to declare that this centerpiece here is going to be a stairwell, which we're going to use, furthermore, to keep our school expanding. As you see there, we have wall torches here in the way. I am going to left click now to drag and drop a rectangle over these and shrink them. Shrinking the items makes them smaller, which allows you to store them for later further usage, which is really excellent. The other wall over here goes like that. As soon as this little bad boy here has been shrunk, we can also continue to build the wall there. So the stairwell which I build is meant to be the center traveling method for our students and the staff, which allows you to have rooms branching off left and right. Which exact system you use there is obviously up to you, but I find it extremely useful to have one dedicated space where your school internal logistics are originating from, so to speak. Now, we have that all in, and the next step that we're going to do is we're going to demolish, down here with the demolish icon, or pressing 2, the entire roof here, because it's a pain to work with an existing roof. They're always in the way. We will need new roofs anyways, so let's get this done right off the bat. So we're going to draw a floor in here, obviously. And now I'm going to do this here. As you see there, the floor that I'm extending here turns darker and darker blue, and now it's turning yellow. This is the point where we need to stop. This is as far as the school wall will support. Support, once it turns yellow, means that you can't build there anymore before you put a new wall or support column below. More about that in the future, just so you can interpret these colors and all. So with expanding like that, we gain a lot of room left and right. We also now just need to extend our walls here a bit. And just like that, we're out of stone. So stone is one of those resources early on which you hardly can ever get enough of, but well, that's just what it is. Alright, so with an expansion like that, once we have the floors brought in here again and the wall there, we can then put yet another roof on top of that, and we're pretty much ready to expand further. I just want to give you a quick overview about how I personally like to expand my schools bit by bit, and just like that, you can do that for your own as well. So I'm going to pause the video here real quick to get the rest of the setup together, because there's really not that much that we're going to miss here in the time between. And now we got floors up on that, and the stairwell a little bit drawn up there. And the last thing that we're going to do there is drawing a roof now over this. From here to there, and you see this is going to be a big old mighty roof. You can now adjust these to be a little bit lower like this. You can't even go as low like that. I wouldn't necessarily recommend to do so, because I have plans with these rooms. So we're going to go and get a regular old roof here back. Come on, you. I said a regular old roof. There we go. Sometimes you just have to scream at your buildings. Now, jokes aside, you can adjust that to your own liking, wonky or not wonky. We're going to do it like that. So the next thing that I do require now is a really, really high wall to separate these again, to make another room out of that. But one thing at a time. One thing that you will realize when you're working out your school is that stone and wood are, in the beginning of the game, resources that you can hardly ever get too much of. So feel free to keep going there. Next thing on our list, though, are rooms, because currently we only have this here as a classroom. When you go for F1 and go for room types, you can now see that we have several different schoolrooms. When you go for the book of rooms here, you see that there are dozens of templates. Don't know if it's dozens or it's a lot. It feels like it's hundreds for sure. Different templates of different room types that you can use. Today, we're going to go and set up a couple of very, very basic and useful things. We're going to set up an austere bedroom, and we're also going to see if we can get a dining room or even a mess hall together. These rooms will, for one, give you extra conviction, that's morale, while sleeping, and extra morale while eating. Two really, really good things. And we're also going to set up, while we're at it, in the Book of Rooms here, together a scholarly where we can cook better. So these are the things that we're going to do together next. First up, I want to move my classroom up there, just to give you an impression about how fast you can relocate things without breaking a sweat. As long as your school has food and wood, by the way, it's hard to die. You will get attacked from time to time, that can happen and will happen, so you should get yourself some students eventually, but there's no real utmost time pressure whatsoever. So, we're going to go now and we want to set up a room. Let's use the game's tools for that. We go and click that room, and you go now for room goal, and we want to set up this room to be an austere bedroom. Select goal, and now you see the things that are missing. We are missing cots, plain beds, fancy beds, or canopy beds. So we're going here, I'm pressing the hotkey M for moving things, and move those cots just upstairs. Like that. For sure, we could have done that already right at the beginning of the game. That's one thing that I want to point out here. Let's give them a high priority here. I'm pressing here the task priority system, set up at 5, and now we can tell our folks that these tasks down here have a super high priority and are going to do them fast. And just like that, as you see here, the label changes, and we're now an austere bedroom. There are, of course, much better bedrooms, so we can now go for this room and give them a new goal. Clear that one. And the next goal will be to set it up to a dormitory. A dormitory is not as easy as. We need a keyword fulfilled called interior. We need 3 beds, but we can't let those beds be cots, so that's one thing. I did a little bit of research in between the episodes, so I have fulfilled pretty much all of these baseline technologies here, so in case you're wondering where all those things come from, I do recommend to keep researching in the early game at any given moment. So, let's give that roof here also a nice high priority. Give that wall here a hallway. And now I want to show you something which is really important while constructing. There is this pathing menu, and here you can see green is where my folks can go to. And here you see that nobody can go to. Here it's even red. Nobody can go here. Building the door here greened this up, because now people can go there. This little menu here can save you lots of trouble sometimes in how the hell and why the hell do things not work out as intended. I really spent some really bad time. Anyways, we're going to bring in a wall here right up to the roof. This is something you can also do if your roof is not stable enough. If your roof shows yellow markings on the way, you can use this little trick to make things better. So let's drop in a door here, and let's move on over and give this room here the next goal. I want to have a room where we can cook food, because eating raw food is really making your folks on the long run quite unhappy. So workshop, we're going to go for the scullery here, and the scullery has the keyword grounded, which means the room must either touch foundation or be underground in the first place. So this room down here is a pretty good one, so we're going to keep it like that. In the crafting menu, we find the gruel pot, and that is where we're going to place that down. Here we go. So let's give these here also nice high priorities, so folks know what they are ought to build first. Let's see if that already closes up or not. Pressing here B to copy that piece of wall, and yeah, we'll see if that works or not. Construction in this game is always a little bit a game of guesswork. As you see there, there has been a connector there. Wonderful. Okay, so now we're going to set this room up here to be a dining room. Dining room for staff. As you see, dining rooms come in two flavors, for students and for staff. The dining room for staff needs to be skewed. As you see, their rooms have a lot of these requirements that they need to fulfill. So here, this room does require, skip there out too quickly, does require to be skewed, done, 10 or more luxury, done due to the roof being luxurious, and a dining table. Well, you haven't done that yet. So let's go on over to the furniture area and see if we already got that. But obviously, I think I am lacking the rustic dining technology. So we need to research the dining table next, put in some lighting there, and make it nice. So here we should use a window, because those wall torches, they have the downside of being ugly. That means they're lowering the total luxury. And as you see there down here, we have now a scullery. You always notice that the backdrop changes. And now we can finally cook some gutberry soup. We're going to do that until we have a few portions. And this is, in its basics, how rooms and such work. Our next jobs, and this is one thing that will constantly continue, will be now to set up a bedroom, a dormitory for the students, then a bedroom for the staff. So interior and silent have to be done. I want to cover only the basics today. We're going to have future episodes with expanded topics like these, so feel free in the comment section to let me know what you want to know. Each episode will touch the Book of Rooms in one way or another. Don't you worry, because this is something that we're working with a lot, but I don't want to overbloat today's episode there. As you can see, there's tons of different things that we can and should do. But at the beginning of the game, I want to stress out that you can easily overburden yourself with too many tasks at once, because many rooms need to be geared out with a sufficient amount of luxury. And luxury is something you don't come on by that easily early on. So that means my personal recommendation when building new rooms and such is, at the beginning of the game, yeah, you do pretty much sort of a roundhouse kick where you need to do a ton of different things all at once, so to speak. That's totally okay, that's pretty normal for every school. But once you are past that phase, you should really think about tuning things a little bit down, you see, and do one room after the other. Because getting too many projects running all at once binds a ton of resources, gets you spin dizzy because the requirements of rooms grow more and more difficult the longer the game goes, and chances are that you will run out of resources, because some of these things, especially in the early game, have a tendency to just overburden your purse quicker than you thought. At least it was the case for me. So, with today's episode, you now know how to expand your school floor-wise, the basics of that. We have discovered a little bit more about building. We now know about the basics about rooms. There's a lot of different keywords we haven't touched yet. I'm well aware of that. We're going to cover that in the future episodes. But the very most important things about building are in your hands now. So I hope that helps you. With that being said, next episode we're going to start with the student hiring and graduation and all that's in it. So stay tuned. Leave a like, leave a subscribe, leave look-see on the playlist like I said. Feel free to support the channel. Many thanks to all of you who do. And of course, a lot of thanks for watching, and I hope you will have a great day, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.